Okay. Kò sí wàhálà. Mo ń fi fóònù ṣe fídíò Afrinity Connect. Interviews. Afrinity Connect. Afrinity Connect. Afrinity Connect. Afrinity Connect. Views. News. Interviews. Afrinity Connect.
Hello, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. As earlier advertised on the program, this is Afrinity Connect. We are having a special broadcast. Yesterday was a special day in Nigeria. June 12th is a special day for so many reasons. Nigeria decided to move June 12th. May 29 was supposed to be Democracy Day in Nigeria, but the federal government of Nigeria decided to move the date to June 12th because June 12th is historic. Our own, from the western part, the Yoruba, would call it Yoruba. Nigeria is divided into three major ethnic groups. We have the Igbos, the Hausas, and the Yorubas. The Yoruba group, the Yoruba indigenous people, yes, as we have earlier showed on the video, there's a lot of things going on in Nigeria right now, and the country, for those of friends of Nigeria, diplomatic relation, everybody, the indigenes, the ethnic nationalities, is no longer news that there's so much tension in the land. We are here to discuss a very, very fruitful discussion. If you just join us for the first time, tell your friends, tell your family members to share the broadcast right now, because we're bringing it honorables, we're bringing in people that are very, very special to us, that have been on this platform for so many years. We've also got a group. We know this group has been formidable on this platform. No other group but NROUF, call them the New Reformation Unity Forum. But without wasting much of our time, we go straight to business. I'll bring in Honorable Honorable Abba. Good evening to you, Honorable. How are you doing, sir? Your mic is off, sir. Hello, Honorable.
Okay. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine very much. Thank you very much, my brother.
It's good to see you again. I know a lot of things are happening back home.
Am I
so
clear?
many things happening.
I'm very fine, thank you. Is my microphone clear?
Yeah, it's clear. You can go ahead. It's clear. It's good to see you. How are you doing?
That's correct. That's true. I'm very fine, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for having us on again tonight. Thank you for the stellar job that you do. And it's a pleasure to be here along with some other members of our movement. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll go straight to business. The movement is Reformation Unity Forum, and apparently there's another sub-movement, going on right now. Can you first of all please introduce other members that are here before we continue?
Yes, I can. We may have more people join us in the course of the broadcast as more other people join us from around the world. As you've partly mentioned, we are what I would call a group of Nigerians who are based in the diaspora, and our focus is to engage with the Nigerian political space with a hope that we can help nudge the system in a positive direction. And alongside myself tonight, we have the president for the diaspora group in the person of Otunba Jafaru BRAIMOH, as well as the deputy president of the diaspora unit in the person of Lyalode Kalejaiye. I'm sure both of them are in your green room. So anytime you want to bring them on, you can add them to the picture.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I can also see Honorable also joining us from Lagos. But before that, let me go straight to Mr. President. Mr. President, you're welcome to Afrinity Connect. It's good to have you, Honorable Otunba, once again on this platform.
Thank you so much, my brother. It's good to be back to your studio again. Thank you so much.
I also want to welcome Madam Etta Lyalode. It's good to have you, Madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you for always being there for us, whenever we need to come online. It's good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you too. So we go straight to Honorable Abba once again. You want to please take it up from there? Please continue.
Okay,
Honorable.
thank you very much. I will be brief. Yes, I will be brief and to the point, and then other members in the studio will be able to contribute as they deem fit. What we're doing tonight is what we've tagged a World Press Conference, and basically is to announce something that has started from Nigeria, from the group in Nigeria. And it is that we want to facilitate the opportunity for the voice of the people to be reflected. Everybody agrees that Nigeria is at the crossroads. Things are not how they should be in Nigeria, politically speaking. There is crisis. There is, for a long while now, for several months, several years, the sanctity of life and property has not been secure. There are attacks going on all of the time. Header, farmer clash, bandits, kidnaps, and this break into the international news on a regular regular intervals now. And as a group of people who are concerned and interested in Nigeria doing well politically, we've reviewed what was going on and we decided it's about time we join the fray in a sense and provide an opportunity for people to air their views in a structured manner, and that those views should be collated and those views should become a part of deciding how the nation goes forward. And therefore, we've floated, morphed, or become in part what we've called the ARPM, which is the All Referendum People's Movement. So what we want to do, what we aim to achieve in this, is to begin to provide an opportunity, like I've said, for people to hear views and share ideas. They say two heads are better than one. There is wisdom in collective thinking. So we need to come together as a people and think, and that is what we want to kick off here. And that's what we're actually kicking off also in a form with this World Press Conference, to give people an opportunity to express their views and share ideas as to how we may reform the political, the economic, the social, the religious, the interpersonal space in Nigeria, that it may become conducive for proper development and a civil society, such that we go from being an aberration to being a well-ordered state. Nigeria, as presently constituted, Nigeria, as presently run, is not running efficiently, is not even running properly to the benefit of most people. So that's what this is about. So it's an opportunity for us to announce to the people, to everybody in the world, particularly everybody in diaspora, that we want to become that template, that forum, that platform on which we can have this debate and this discussion, and we will funnel it back to the system and the processes in Nigeria. And hopefully at the end of the day, we will achieve a meaningful progress away from the troubled position we're in now to an acceptable, a positive, a state that is agreeable and supportive of everybody, whether they be Nigerians or none, because we're a community of global people. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. That was well put forward. But before I go to, I've seen Honorable MKO all the way from, I think he was in the studio. We've also seen Honorable Balogun. We'll bring them on very soon. But Mr. President, I wanted to play a video from Channels TV, because I heard in your submission, Honorable Abba, you made mention of, all referendum people. There's a video, there's an interview, of course, obviously it's trending from Channels, where let me just drop that quickly. So before
trying to,
okay, just please
this
listen to
behemoth, this elephantine, this very unwieldy unitary federation, which passes for a federal system of government. How do we go about it? That has always been the question. And I have never underrated the role of the National Assembly. But the National Assembly, on the other hand, does not seem to understand what it ought to do. I took on frontally the Deputy Senate President, Senator Omo Agege, on this issue, penultimate Friday at the International Conference Center, where I explained on a blow-by-blow account how to bring what you call about a people's constitution after a referendum. These are words that these people are afraid of. I don't know why they are afraid of referendum or people's constitution. It was done in Eritrea, in Bangladesh, in Iran, in Iraq, in Egypt, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Singapore, in Morocco. These people, even with a government in power, were able to start a new document called the People's Constitution, which was subjected to the people in a referendum.
That was a short video from Channels. Straightforward. Why? The question is, why are they afraid, like you said? So I'll allow Mr. President to speak, please.
Thank you, the moderator, Afri Connect TV, and thank you for having us here again at your studio. I, Otunba Jafaru BRAIMOH, joined with all other Nigerians home and in diaspora to celebrate and give meaning to the Democracy Day that we had yesterday. Mr. Moderator, while we're at it, I will want if you can bring in our members who are not in the studio so that they can be privy to what discussion we're going to be putting forward moving on. We celebrate with Nigerians home and abroad. We are in diaspora, and we are members of the All Referendum People's Movement organization under the banner of NRUF organization. This is a duly registered charity organization by Honorable Muti Okunle-Okunla, a global convener and a political activist in Nigeria, in order for us to add our voice to the current political and security challenges ongoing in Nigeria. In the world over, we have never seen where there was so much security challenges that the aliens or the angel decided to descend to take over and help to steer clear the country from destruction, crisis, or war. We have to do the deep thinking. We have to go back to the drawing board. We have to challenge ourselves. We have to tell ourselves this is the only organic country that we have, and that there is no running away from it. And we have to ensure that we come up with a solution that will be fair to us all. In the past, all kinds of theories had been put forward on the table. We've run parliamentary system of government. We've run Fourth Republic of democracy. We've run military continuous distortion of the Nigerian growth and development since 1960. And we are currently now on the second republic of democracy. And it's obvious that there's something wrong. If not, we should be having a geometric growth and development in Nigeria, as against having to grow 4 steps forward and 3 5 steps backward, as we are currently having. The current leadership of the country has lost all forms of moral and social responsibility to govern the country, and it calls for a concerted effort. A country where it is being looked upon in the whole 56 countries of African country as a leader cannot afford herself to go into civil war or a civil strike, because we would have confused the whole of Africa which way forward. And so it is based and sincerely put upon us that we should come up with a better way to get ourselves out of this current situation. And it's not going to be fighting ourselves. We must go back to asking ourselves, what do we want? In 1993, we had a late general, General Sani Abacha, that put up the current constitution that we are currently exercising in Nigeria. Unfortunately, in a civilian government, we are currently exercising a military put together constitution. The political leadership that we have had in the last almost 30 years now do not have the will and the courage to be able to change this military constitution to a civilian constitution that will encompass all our yearnings as a nation. And so, in the lack of this leadership, we were able to find leadership and selflessness from one of our own, Honorable Mutiu Kunle Okunla, who put this organization together, and in his deep thinking, came up with a referendum where we all should line up and said, you know what, let us go back to the drawing board. Let us talk about our differences. Let us talk about what is the problem, and let us shed light on the way forward. Because a problem discussed, shared, is a problem almost half solved. If we don't discuss our problem, if we don't share it amongst ourselves, we will merely just be doing cosmetic treatment. If we think somebody from America or Europe or Asia is coming to intervene in our security challenges or disgruntle political growth and development. So it is in light of this, in the light of this, that we have come together yesterday at our headquarters in Lagos, Ikeja, where Honorable Mutiu Kunle Okunla, with the rest of the team of the national body, put up an audacity calling for a national referendum for Nigerians to discuss a language that will appeal to the Northerners agitation, the Easterners agitation, and the Westerner agitation. Let us discuss. We are not saying you are not going. We are not saying that you must remain. But we are saying, let us discuss what is the problem, where and how is the solution, and what is the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. That was well put together. I want to go straight now to our own Lyalode. Please, your submission, please.
Thank you very much, our producer. I'm not going to start repeating what everybody has said. We all know what referendum is, but I am going to comment from the submission that you played on this platform just now, that was recorded. You know, one of the recording by Channel TV, and where I'm going to assess it is where the guy was saying, why is the Senate and the government afraid of referendum? My contribution to that is, I cannot say why. I don't think it's easy for anybody to be able to say this is the reason behind, the government or the House of Assembly or whoever is directing us shying away from the fact that we should come up with a referendum. What I'm going to say is, referendum is a constitutional right, and once it is been established as a constitutional right, I don't think we should worry much about who wants it to happen or who is shying away from it or who doesn't want it to happen, because at the end of the day, we are running a democratic form of government, which is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. And if that is the case, we should be able to come out and say, okay, things are not going rightly. How do we solve this? How do we resolve this? Because what we don't want, and one of the reasons why our convener Honorable Mutiu Kunle Okunola has put this together is that we are looking at the way things are going, and we don't want a situation where everything will break down completely. Already, Nigeria is in a critical state. And, if we're able to give people hope that there is another way, apart from violence or going the way of those that are, are bouncing or disrupting other people's human rights. If we can reassure people, if we can create an awareness that, listen, there is another way to this. There is another way we can deal with this, where we will come to a situation where everything will be resolved amicably. I think that is a very beautiful thing and is a very hopeful position for our country. So for me, I would say we shouldn't worry about why they want referendum to happen or why they don't want it to happen. What we should focus on is that referendum is a constitutional right, and everybody should come together to have a say in where our country is going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before you go, I want to quickly also, you made mention of it's a fundamental, right of every, citizen. But some will argue in Nigeria presently, the way it's presently constituted, that there is no referendum in the constitution. And some will also say, you know what, that's why the constitution itself is faulty. So what do you have to say to that?
Well, it is not something that is not known to even the people that are young, that are just upcoming, that we more or less don't have a constitution, because this is a constitution that is not working. And that is the main reason why we have all this problem in Nigeria, because what we have there is not a constitution. It's just something someone, one of the past, head of government put together based on selfish interest for them to have a continuity in governing the people. It is not, people have come together several times to say, okay, let us look at this again. And, they've been trampled on. So it is not something debatable to say a constitution say this, because at the moment, we don't seem to have any. It is this referendum that is going to give birth to a constitution that is going to be workable in Nigeria, because everybody will have to come together and say, okay, this is not right, this is what should happen, and we will look at all what we've had before, or people bringing in new opinion of what they think it should be. Everybody will look at it and we take it from there. We have to go back to the drawing board. So this is not a case of anybody saying that there's nothing like constitution. There is nothing in that constitution anyway.
Okay, I know you're taking it. Yeah, you're being passionate about it now, which I clearly understood, because a lot of people, like you rightly said, that is the reason for this, agitation here and there, self-determination here and there, because people are saying everything you want to do, you go to the top. And the top now, even at the top level, they have also agreed that, it's not getting too much. They want to, that is the debate. But I think it's the high time I bring, because I know we have the convener all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. It's on this platform. Honorable MKO, please, can you unmute yourself? Thank you, Honorable. And also open the camera so that at this point in time, I'll have the singular honor to introduce you, and so that you can also, I know you had a wonderful press conference yesterday out there in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. Tell us, nice to meet you, Honorable.
Good evening, house and presenter. Nice coming to your program tonight, which is a turning point. It's a wonderful program. I've been listening, though I'm inside the car, but I will be following up and I can make my own contribution as well.
Please go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I've listened to contributors and every member that has spoken and question asked. But let me quickly put something straight. Referendum is our human rights enshrined by constitution. And if anybody say referendum is not in our constitution, that person does not understand. It's part of the oversight function of an INEC. And there is always a bylaw that establishes an electoral body. And what the word constitution referendum is a veto through votes by the people. So, and in fact, it's only Nigeria has not been enforcing their right on the government. Because before there is government, there is people. It is when there is people, there is a need for us to come with the rule of law to govern everybody. So by putting the cart before the horse, it's like we are not even understanding it. And that's what our movement is trying to bring back to the awareness of people that is our right. We don't even need government if we can go through the thing requirement by bringing a mass participation. Because even when you are talking of the National Assembly, they only operate on our mandate. And how do you become a representative of an area? Because there are two principal upper houses that are legislating on behalf of us. We have the Senate, which is for equity, 3 per each state, which make 109, which 1 for Abuja Federal Capital, because we have 36 states, 36 times 3, plus 37 of Abuja, which is 1. We are talking of 109. And we have House of Representatives, which was basically on population of the people and sometimes the land mass. Okay? So when you look at it, and what are the responsibility of House of Representatives? They are to represent Nigeria, because all of us cannot go at every particular moment to make decision or contribution. So we need to vote people to represent that populace or that local government. So that it is. But when we got to a point of referendum, we might not need any representative to advocate if we have the capacity to sponsor people to come and say their voice. And I've rightly made my people to understand that the only way we can have that legitimacy, it must be that people who are coming to converge, who are to veto whatever decision, are voters by law. And that's why we set up our website, arpnigeria.org, which is taking a data. It's like a petition of people that will participate. So there are a lot of things we need to veto. Because Nigeria is becoming a failed nation, it calls for a general and mass contribution to come and veto a lot of law. It's our responsibility. But in a situation where you could not have the capacity to mobilize the whole nation, you could look for a representative like we have in the National Assembly. We won't wait for government to give us our rights. And that's why we want to carry the bull by the horn. We don't even mind what the stringence and the cost and the pain we could go. We have set the ball rolling and we are going through it through legitimate means. And INEC will be written on the proposed referendum being sponsored by our organization, NRUF, and a date will be given to them. And we must write them at least 3 months or 6 months before the occasion so that they be prepared. And they will verify all our members through the websites that they are Nigerian, because we are talking of all inclusive this time around, not a representative referendum. So we don't want the elites to keep on representing us. We want everybody who have voters cards, who are legible voters and a Nigerian, to join us on the field. And we have decided to use an open ground, which is the Freedom Park. We want to use canopy for our accommodation, and we have a very big canopy as our conference hall in order to take all those vetoes and rules. And INEC must be there present, because by constitution and by law, people should go and look at the law that set up the INEC. Referendum is their oversight function. Anything voting. So, and this is a vote. And by the time we are concluded, then we will know if we have the legitimacy or not. So I don't want people to see what we are doing like a protest or anti-government. No, it is a people-oriented that are being sponsored by us. Recently, Professor Afebalola have suggested that I want to conduct a referendum, but of the elites. in his university, which even he has donated 50 million for such. But in our own case, we are looking for all-inclusive, all-Nigeria, and the most legitimate one. And it's a procedural, and it is constitutional and legal. And if they are questioning, if we don't have that right, then they meet us in court. All processes that we want to engage are going to be formally and constitutional, because we are going to write to United Nations, we write to African Union, ECOWAS community, we exercise our rights to converge and discuss our unity. Being a global movement, it is easier for us to institute such because we have presence of our member in all the geopolitical zone and all the countries in the world. And we have divided our diaspora units into three districts, which is African districts, American districts, Europe and Israel districts, all because we are well prepared. We are grounded, we are versatile on what we want to do, and we are determined. So we are going to set up your member who will keep on mobilizing until you are able to have nothing less than 40 million. Because the last election that gave Buhari the mandate to rule Nigeria is not up to 15 million votes. Because put together, Atiku and Buhari votes, it was not up to 25 million. So if we could have voters of over 40 million, and I think we are more legitimate and we have that mandate to discuss and veto some rules. So there is no hide and seek about it. The government will definitely not want to, they are afraid of referendum in the sense that most of this inherited constitution by Abacha was tailored towards people in government to continue ripping off. Nigeria has no any primordial law, and even in terms of the remuneration and the salary, it is the National Assembly that apport money to themselves, located everything to themselves because they are putting in law. But in anywhere in the whole world, they use factors, percentage, economy indices to allocate money to the National Assembly. It is only here that people have hijacked governance for their own selfish interest, and immediately they leave office, they become a whaler, which shows that they are there in 4 years for their personal interest, not because they are there for the general masses of Nigeria. So referendum is to veto everybody, including themselves and ourselves as people. Sometimes people are talking about secessional or regional referendum. That is not recognized by our constitution, because most of the people talking about Biafra, Oduduwa Nation, Arewa, was never recognized by the constitution. So the first thing is to go and discuss and identify the ethnic group that make up Nigeria. Even in our constitution, the ethnicity was never mentioned. There was nothing like Igala. There was nothing like Yoruba. There was nothing. Is that a constitution? A document that cannot even identify the constituent member. So if Biafra said they want referendum, you cannot identify who are Biafran in Nigeria. In as much as Biafra too does not even recognize a country called Nigeria. So you find out that there is ambiguity in their place. When the Britain asked for Brexit from European Union, everybody know the Britain as a unity, and they are identified that these are the people who are asking for referendum, and they are granted. But it will be very difficult for anybody to grant Biafra or Oduduwa Republic or whoever you are, because you are not identified by the constitution as a body. So you are alien to us. So the first thing is to first of all set up a general and unity referendum for the national referendum to identify the constituent member of what country called Nigeria, identification of their religion, culture, and heritage. It is that a constitution must define. By that, then we could now take a decision further if those people who identify are not willing to be part of Nigeria. And that's secondary. But the first is to establish who are the Nigerians first. And what does Nigerian want? What makes you a Nigeria? What brings us together as a country? Those are the things that the constitution is so plain about. So it's not a secessional referendum is a national unity referendum to determine who are the constituent members of our country, and then what are the reasons that bring us together. America is amalgamation of some states making a country. Like California, all of them sometimes are joining America and they are being identified and they come with rule of law. So same should be established in Nigeria, not this joiner by unknown people who are not even Nigeria, who just come to hijack a nation and colonize us without even having our identity established. And this is what we want to do. It's like a new rebirth. Is Nigeria want to give themselves a new beginning, a new dawn of identity before we start. Because once you are not established to be a citizen of any place, or even a children of any father, you will be categorized as a bastard. So that is what I want to make clear here. Is our constitutional right, and we take it legally, and we follow it through the rule. We will write our neck, letting them know what we want to do. They must be present on our conference, which is a national unity conference called National Referendum, to first of all discuss Nigeria before we move further in the year 2022. As the 2023 years approaching, we have to establish that germane reason of who are we in Nigeria, who are the people that make up Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, and it's all clearly understood, and we are grateful. I know despite your busy schedule, you are still able to join us, and thank you and wish you a safe journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President, you want to, let's round up, because I was having Honorable Balogun, I think he's gone now. If you can kindly round up.
Okay. Thank you very much, the producer. And I thank the last speaker, Honorable Mutiu Kuleomola, the global convener of our movement, and the political prophet of our time, who had seen the future and who is putting everything within his might to ensure that Nigeria remains great and it becomes an organic country for us all. If we remember, in 1993, MKO Abiola then won the general election, and the election was null and void by General Ibrahim Babangida, and this humble, honorable MKO Abiola paid the supreme price with his life. And that is why today we have Democracy Day being celebrated for June 12, which was yesterday, and why we chose to launch our referendum bid for that day as well, so that we will not forget the heroes and the people that had been losing their lives, assets, and capacity, all to preserve us all as a nation. It looks so bad now, but world over has told us that all we need is a political reset, selfless leadership in the right position, and the country will auto reset herself. If you look at a typical United Arab Emirates country, 20 years ago, it was a desert. 20 years ago, the whole of UAE, United Arab Emirates, was a desert. And some Arab leaders there took it upon themselves that they have natural resources, which is fossil energy, not even in the quantity and quality of the Nigerian fossil energy. Aside from other natural resources that Nigeria adds to herself with the weather and the vegetation. But these individuals in the Middle East managed that wealth for themselves, and they turned the United Arab Emirates into the pride and where everyone in the whole world wants to visit, with the best technology, the top of the range infrastructure in modern times, and with a duty-free commerce. Now, there was one time the Emirate leader was asked how did he turn the country around and what should Nigerians learn from them. And the Emirate leader told the journalist that they should be the one trying to learn why is Nigeria not refusing to do the needful for her country, that they don't have 1/10 of the natural resources that Nigeria have. The only thing, only one out of the 100 things that Nigeria have is leadership. And so when Honorable Mutiu Kunle Okola called us, his disciples, and said, you know what? We are not going to fight like every other person. We are not going to wail like every other person. We are not going to mumble like every other person. We are going to ask us to come to the round table. We are going to ask the society to discuss. We are going to ask the agitating Northerners, the agitating Southerners, the agitating Westerners, let us discuss. There is enough to go around in the country called Nigeria. But what we have in Nigeria is not a natural disaster, it's leadership disaster. Unfortunately, leadership disaster. And the shameless leadership, they pride themselves when they leave the shore of the country with their words scattered all over the world, and warehousing stolen monies into properties, they're buying up the whole world at the expense of the country that they got all this money from. And that's because there are no strong institutions. They are not accountable to anything. Once they leave the government, that is it. None of the things that they have stolen can be returned from them. And so all they just aspire for is to get to the leadership position. And immediately they get there, they do what they want. But times are changing. Whether me and you like it or not, our children are watching. The world is watching. We owe this generation and the children a responsibility to give leadership in our own small way. So the importance of the launch of this referendum in this period is critical, not just to the Nigeria as a nation to survive, but Nigeria to be part of the global world where in Nigeria deep far in South America will walk shoulder high, happy that he or she is a Nigerian. Nigeria far in the east will walk shoulder high west and in the north, as against walking in the shadows of others. We must show leadership. There's so much to discuss, and these are the many reasons why we have all come together and asked ourselves and asked the community, the society, all the different humanity organizations, particularly the religious bodies, the political elite, let us discuss. The business community will not thrive in a security challenged environment. So it is imperative that we have to discuss and create an enabling environment. The religious industry will not thrive. How will people go to the mosque or to the church where there are shootings, looting, maiming, banditry, kidnapping, around and about. So it is imperative that the religious body put themselves together and act decisively. They must do something, because when all else fails in societies, average people turn on the leaders of these religious bodies for wisdom on how to move forward. So it's not just about cosmetic treatment that we must pray it, or we must go to the mountain about it. We must act it. Our own way of acting this is by going into referendum and asking us all to let us come to the drawing board, to the round table, to the virtual conference room, to the town hall, and let us discuss. We have our website that if you join, if you fill out the details as requested by the website, by default, it takes you to platforms where the future discussions will continue from there. This launch of our referendum from yesterday, today, it's an ongoing thing. We are going to be having this launch discussion all through the year until we assemble in Abuja in January 2022 in the Multitude Congress that we expect more than 40 million multitude of determined, self-free Nigerians that wants to right the wrongs of this our current political rascals. And so these are the many reasons why we have organized ourselves to call for this referendum, and we deeply appeal to the public to join us over the period of the month into the end of the year. The headquarters will be coming up with the different kinds of support that we are going to be requesting from the society, moving the referendum forward. I thank you all that had come to contribute to this launch of our virtual open conference on the referendum ARPM. I thank Honorable MK of Nigeria. I thank Honorable Adekemi Kalejaiye from London. And I thank the others that are unable to join, and those that are joined that were unable to stay on. We are making history here. We are putting our names in gold. In another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, when the children ask, what did they do when the country was this bad? Our names will come up in gold, that we did our best to the best of our abilities. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. President. That was well put together. I want to also thank you too for that everything you've been doing. Madam Honorable lyalode, thank you so much. I'd wanted to put in, your mic is off. I'd wanted to bring in Honorable Balogun, but he keeps coming in and going out. But we want to also let him know that we appreciate him. Honorable Samuel is also, Muyiwa is trying to come in, but it's not connected. I don't know why the device is using, it's not connecting. I also want to thank Honorable Abba. Thank you, Kristilolu. I want to thank you. And of course, the convener himself, thank you, despite your busy schedule, for joining this platform. Like we always say, we're partners in progress, and we know, we all believe, like your last submission, Mr. President, to say, when we grow up later, people will remember what were you able to do when the going was getting tough. It's no longer news. You saw the video I played earlier on, where the according to UN Charter, people are ready. It's accepted to have what we call self-determination. It's no longer news. This is 21st century, where people Google things, then they know what is going on. Gone are the days where the mainstream media tell the story, but now we have social media, we have other media that also read on time, and they tell you what's going on. So thank you very much, Honorable MKO. Thank Thank you, Honorable Lyalode. Thank you, Honorable Abba. And of course, Mr. President, I'm grateful. So this, how we'll be calling, I know we're still going to continue this ongoing. This is just the launch. We will continue this. Thank you all for joining the platform.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Webkill. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, this is how we'll
Thank
be
you.
running up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. If you just join us, it's been Afrinity Connect. We've been discussing referendum people movement from a body under the new Reformation Unity Forum, talking about NRUF. This program is going to be on, you can play back and watch it. But if you just join us, this is an ongoing effort from us, Afrinity Connect, ROUF, all other bodies in Nigeria, indigenous people. We're all looking for a permanent way to find lasting peace and solution to the calamity that might come if we don't do something. Wilfred Adams signing off. Remain blessed, all of you. Thank you.